Hello there, welcome to Saber Drill Gaming, where we always take the high ground. Since 1981, Mario has entertained gamers with over 250 games, upwards of 300 from some estimations. Obviously, he has taken part in platform and adventure games, as well as karting games, but also the more obscure 1v1 combat, RPG, sporting simulation, and even games around art and video game design. Basically, there's a Mario game for just about every gamer out there, and everyone will have their own personal favourite. So, in order to find out what maybe the best Mario games are, I've reached out to some of my absolute favourite small YouTube channels and asked the question, what's your favourite Mario game of all time?
Well, when it comes to the favorite Mario game of all time, for Raz as Retro, I would say every single Mario game, because every single Mario game that ever came out has been an absolute banger. But we could only choose one, and again, it always comes down to memories, the ones we've had the best memories with, the special memories with, the ones that we bonded together, and the ones that will just stay forever in our heart. And again, this is not easy because there's a lot of good games when it comes to Mario games, and a lot of memories with Mario, with the friends and the family. But the game that I have chosen is the one and only Mario Kart 64. I've spoken about this game way too many times. I'm not going to go into too many details, but just simply say, first game on the N64, and hours spent playing with my family, my friends, myself, and it was time that was very special and beautiful to me.
My favourite Super Mario game has to be Super Mario Bros. On the NES. It's the game I just keep going back to, probably because it still feels magic today the same way it did for me when I was a child. And it's just video gaming in its simplest, purest form. There's no fancy cutscenes, no sprawling storylines, it's just Mario and a handful of pixel-perfect levels, and that infectious sense of discovery. Every hidden block, every warp zone, it just felt like a secret that I just found, something between me and the game. That thrill I felt when finding them as a child, I still feel that same feeling even now as an adult. I've been playing this game for like 30 something years, and depending on which path I take, I'm still finding new hidden blocks and new little secrets. The controls are tight, the music is timeless, it's just burnt into our collective memories, and the game is still as challenging as it was back in the day, and it's just as enjoyable. There are bigger and better Super Mario games out there, but there's no denying that Super Mario Bros. Is the foundation of the series, and probably the foundation of platforming games in general. There is a reason why I own about 5 different variant cartridges of Super Mario Bros., and that's because it's probably the Mario game I'm most in love with.
My favourite Mario game of all time is Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo 64. This was Mario's first venture into true 3D platform gaming, and by God it did not disappoint. I would argue that the leap up between 2 entries in a gaming series has never been this big, before or since. The first time playing Super Mario 64 is a revelation. It's an absolute event, so much more than just a game. The game is still fantastic to this day, but on the time of its release, it cannot be overstated just what a phenomenal experience this was. The game had beautiful graphics, amazing sound, and so much longevity, way beyond completing the main game itself. Seeing Bowser, Mario, and so many other characters in true 3D was an absolutely phenomenal experience. I would easily argue that no 3D Mario game since this one has been quite as good, and I would certainly say none was such a leap forward.
Shadow Fox here, and one of my favorite Mario games of all time has to be Mario Kart Double Dash. Mostly because of the multiplayer and the fact that you have 2 characters on the same card at the same time. Plus, every character had a special item, if you would. Like Mario having his fireballs, Luigi also had the fireballs, and the Bowser having that giant shell, the giant green spiked shell that he was throwing that thing with just a ricochet and hit everybody. One of the only things I didn't really like about the game, though, was some of the items could ricochet and hit you instead. So you had to be very skilled about where you threw your items. I remember that I had gotten it for Christmas one year, and I remember I loved it so much that I ended up playing it for hours on my GameCube. Especially when my brother and my cousin got involved, and it would just turn into complete chaos. I love that game. Shadow Fox out. Have a nice night and or day if you watch this.
My favourite Mario game of all time is Super Mario Land for the Nintendo Game Boy. Whilst many Mario games before and since have been objectively better games, no game did a better job of meeting the need of its console than this game did. Taking all of the best qualities of a Mario game and adding a couple of new ones such as airplane and submarine levels, this game managed to be a mobile delight that didn't feel shallow. It took and adapted aspects from the earlier games in ways that have become iconic, and was such a successful game it even led to its own music video. The game brought us characters and aspects that we would see going forward for many years, and quite frankly brought me some of my most fond gaming memories of all time. Super Mario Land is a true classic.
My favourite Mario game of all time is Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. I'd love to say this is because it was my all-time favourite game, or because of the memories I have with it. But in truth, it's one simple reason. This is the first game that properly featured Yoshi. Yoshi is my absolute favourite Mario gaming character, whether it be in Mario Kart or anything else. Yoshi is an absolute legend, and this was the game that let him shine.
So there we are. I want to thank everyone who contributed to this video. Literally every video game that was chosen for this list is an absolute classic and could be in contention for among the best games of all time. Obviously with Mario, there's still tons more games that could easily have deserved a place on this list. But that's one of the classic things with Mario. It's nothing but the best time and time again. Again, thank you to everyone who took part in this. I really appreciate it, and check the links out down below to check out their channels. And until next time, as always, take the high ground.